evening and welcome to the 42nd Healthy Living with Marilyn show. We are in episode 3, series 8. Yes, ma'am. Wow. Yes. Yay. We are really rocking it. We're going to change the series when I get to 50. We'll go into episode 1, series 4 when I get to 50. So we only got a few more to go. Yeah. You know. I want to
welcome.
Got
action-packed ones. Didn't mean
yeah,
to interrupt.
I know. I do. I've got some action-packed ones that are really coming up, and I want to welcome you to Healthy Living with Marilyn. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a fun-filled couple weeks for me. Stressful. I finished my book. Yay me. It's at the editor and the publisher. Thank you. It was, ask Zen, I hibernated for a couple days, and it was hard. It was really hard but if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
Truth.
So, but I finished my book. I am so happy. It was tough. It was challenging. I only had 10 days to get it done, and I beat my deadline. That was the important thing.
That's an accomplishment right there in and of itself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, so I sent it all today to my editor and my publisher, and we're getting ready to rock and roll with it. So this afternoon I decided I'm going to take a hot yoga class, and it was a flow class, and they're a little bit harder than stability, and I really didn't want to take it, but I took it anyhow, and I'm glad that I did. But I want to thank and welcome you to Healthy Living with Marilyn, and thank Katie Zachary for being my guest host tonight. Katie, thank you so much for coming. I know you were busy all day, and it was hectic for you today, and you went to a lot of meetings. I am so glad. I'm so glad that you're here too, really. And I want to introduce you to my business partner who laughs with me all the time. We laugh so hard sometimes. My ribs hurt when we laugh, right, Judy?
Oh, that's
true. And this
we
is
do.
Judy Richards, and she is my business partner with our retreat business called Creating the Amazing You.
Hi, everyone.
And we are going to have a retreat April 20th, 21st, and 22nd. So if you are interested in coming, it's going to be in the mountains.
A beautiful, beautiful place in the mountains.
Yes, called Wintergreen, Virginia. Judy wanted to have it at the mountains. Next time, Judy, we're having it at the beach.
I know, but I wanted so badly to have it at the mountains.
I know, she did. So
I'm with you, Judy.
Yes.
Mountains all the way.
Yeah, so we said, okay, we'll have it.
It's going to be a great experience up there.
Yeah, we'll have it there.
Are we going to dive into what's going on there now, or do we get to hide that till later?
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about it because we're going to talk about focus. You know, the one thing, creating your mindset and focus and everything that goes with that, because it's important to stay focused. I could not have when I put that out on Facebook today that I had finished my book, one of my friends who's a colleague of mine said, "You did that fast." Well, I had to do it fast in order to get it done. And I had gone to a book camp in Fort Lauderdale in February, and I wrote my book in 3 days. I wrote 75% of it.
What do you think was key to achieving that much in such a short period of time?
I wanted it. I wanted it. If you want something bad enough, you'll move mountains to get it. You will do anything. You'll clear your schedule. I cleared my schedule Monday and Tuesday. Monday it was snowing here, friends. It was snowing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. In
Richmond,
Richmond, Virginia, it was snowing. We didn't get a whole lot of snow, but it was snowing. And I said to my husband, I'm not going out in this stuff. I'm just going to sit and write all day. I got up at 4:30. I was in San Diego last week. I was keeping my body on Eastern Standard Time. First couple days was kind of easy. I was getting up at 4:30 their time and 7:30 this time.
What does 4:30 look like in the morning?
It's dark. It's really dark. 4:30. It's really dark out in California.
You would typically never know, right?
Yeah. But I was trying to trick my circadian rhythm into thinking it doesn't matter where you are. You're on Eastern Time.
Right.
Okay. You're on Eastern Time. That's the way you're going to stay.
Did it work?
So I stayed focused. I got up at 4:30 in the morning. I would call my husband, 7:30 here, 8:30 here, I would call him. I'd been up. I was working on my book because I had this deadline, I needed to get it done. So I would get up and I'd start typing. I didn't look outside, Judy. I had those big curtains, so it's like, don't look outside.
That blocks everything.
Yeah, that blocks everything. Yeah, and you never know. When you go in a hotel and they've got all those dark curtains, you never know whether it's light or dark anyhow when you got it closed.
Exactly.
You can't tell. So I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning, and I was, doing my thing. Well, my daughter had She texts me Saturday. She texts me Friday. She says, "What are you doing this weekend, Mom?" It's like, I am still in California. What do you want? Jacob wants to see you. He's having grandma withdrawal. Okay, tell him Sunday soon. She texts me back. She says, soon doesn't cut it with Jacob. He wants a day and a time. I said, okay, Sunday at 11. So I really had to keep my circadian rhythm and my day on Eastern Standard Time, and it was hard. So by the time Saturday morning came, and I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning out there, which is 7 o'clock here, I was like, okay, this is the last day. I can sleep on the plane. It's going to be cool. And I did. And I took this homeopathic remedy for jet lag. If you ever want to know about it, just let me know. I don't do jet lag well. And the worst part about it is we were sprinting our clocks forward. Yeah.
Well, I am dying to know, because having a little bit of a writer's itch sometimes in my past, I found when I most wanted to get the writing done, that would be when I ran into the writer's block, or I wanted to distract myself. I can be a tad bit of a procrastinator on things that I want to do for me.
Well, you know
so
what
how'd you get through it?
How I got through it was I just kept writing. I didn't edit. I just kept writing. Mm-hmm. And I was writing from my heart and writing from my soul. And I did not, knock on wood, have writer's block, which was really unusual. Tuesday, I got up at 4:30 in the morning this past Tuesday. Still had a lot of work to do. My goal was to finish by Wednesday and get it off to them Thursday morning, which is exactly what I did. And I woke up at 4:30 Tuesday morning, and I wrote 15,000 words on Tuesday and finished 11 o'clock that night.
Wow.
That's a lot to be proud of, Marilyn. I can tell you are, and that's wonderful. You should be.
Thank you. The thing about it was, I had my laptop on, and I kept getting these little messages over here from Facebook, so I had to close that down. I had to close all social media down. I had to close this is what you need to do in order to stay focused. This has to do with mindset. You have to close social media down. You have to close your emails down. You have to forget all of that, because you're like a train. You have to stay. This is the one time where you have to have tunnel vision. You have to have that tunnel vision where nothing outside is bothering you. I mean, I almost forgot to feed my husband that night. It was 20 minutes to 7. It's like, oh, I got to fix dinner. Mm-hmm. So I stopped. That was one of the times I stopped the longest. Other times, to take a break or to get up and walk because I get hip lock. But I was still staying focused. Fixed dinner, and I said to him, he was still eating. I said, I'm going to excuse myself because I need to get back. And I still had 5 more hours of writing. So it was just staying so focused and acknowledging the fact that I was on a mission. When you're on a mission, listen, let me tell you, when you are on a mission, you will do anything to get it done. And I have not been, it's weird because I have Aubrey. Aubrey, if you're there, hello. Aubrey Eicher, she's my personal trainer. I woke up a couple months ago and my intuition said, you can't do this by yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to have somebody that's going to motivate you, that is going to push you. And she has. I mean, we walked yesterday out in that cold weather and it was windy, but we did it anyhow. So I didn't want to do it. I told her.
Do we ever want to do it?
A lot of times I want to be there, because I love Aubrey and I want to do it. But yesterday I was still struggling with a little jet lag, and I don't handle jet lag well. And I was really trying to do that, and played with Jacob on Sunday. I mean, he was so happy to see me. I get out of the car, and he runs out of the house without his jacket on and jumps up in my arms, and he says, Grandma, I missed you so much.
That's so sweet.
I missed you so much. Where have you been? Can we play all day? Yeah, we can play all day. And my daughter said, Mom, that was really cool that he did that. It's like, yeah, it was worth getting up. It was worth getting up. But staying focused, finding ways to stay focused. I did hot yoga today. You have to find ways that will work for you. Mm-hmm. Some people, it's walking. Some people, it's running. Some people, it's doing a craft like painting, or some people, it's meditating. What works for you, Katie?
Well, I mean, I think of things kind of tactically, and I have to be one of those who eliminates distractions. I have to take that cell phone and I have to put it in a drawer or take it to another room or cut it off I've only recently gotten into having some music in the background. It all depends on the task that I'm trying to pursue. If I'm trying to focus on something for one of my clients,
you're unstoppable.
Absolutely. It's harder for me to focus on achieving things for myself, for my own well-being. So I have to find what is the motivation for whatever my focus is going to be. Like I've already essentially said, if I've got to do something for you, Marilyn, come hell or high water, I'm going to be there. I'm going to do it for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Oh.
Likewise.
Oh, I believe
Likewise.
it. But make that something for me personally, and I have to, that's really, I guess, valuing myself, valuing my own time and my own need to recharge or whatever. I myself started working with a personal trainer because I knew I needed that accountability partner. I knew that I needed someone to remind me this is the way to do it, or this is a way you could tweak that practice. And I'm finding that's impacting me all across every goal that I have.
It does. When you stay focused, when you have somebody helping you motivate, whatever it is, a coach, a business coach or a health coach or whoever, because you're putting money in and you've got skin in the game, you really start working at it. And it's really important to listen to what they're saying and to allow them, this is the secret, allow them to motivate you, allow them to push you. Yeah, Aubrey.
Don't fight.
I'll probably be eating my words one day, but I am allowing you to motivate me and to push me. Yesterday, she had me doing a plank, and she had me put these little discs under my toes, and I had to move my feet out this way.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I had to do it.
Go, Aubrey.
I had to do it 12 times on each leg. So I'm going, what? And it's, really, Aubrey? You really wanted me to do that? She says, Marilyn, I was doing a plank on my arms, moving my legs back and forth. She says, be glad I'm not making you move your feet forward and back. It's like, no, I'll take the side by side,
You know something too, unless you were going to talk to you, I'm going to cut you off. I found for me, like one of the reasons I do the work I do, of course I want to take care of the clients, but I do it because I know I own my time and I want some of that time to be dedicated to my daughter. And I realized that...
Really? And Lexi. Oh, I love Lexi.
She's the cutest.
So cutie patootie. Okay.
She's a sweet, sweet girl. But I found it is so key. Focus. You be intentional with whatever time you have. So when I have that time with her, I'm not allowed to worry about work. I'm not allowed to worry about anyone but her. And we are connecting. That phone is far away. And I've had a few friends and maybe even some family members say, well, I tried to call you or I tried to reach out and I couldn't get you. And I said, I have to unplug sometimes. That time is time for her. And that informs everything that I'm doing. So when I'm at work and I'm focused on work. If you're at work thinking about something else,
you're
not working.
You're not working. Right.
And if you're at home focusing on work, you're not at home. You're not relaxing and recharging.
And, on Sunday... I wanted to work on my book. I needed to play with Jacob.
Yeah.
And I needed to take a nap in the afternoon because I was starting to hit blowout because we sprung forward in the clock, so I really lost 4 hours.
Yes.
No fun. So, but how do you stay focused, Judy? Because you work in the C-suite. She has a job.
I do.
A real job.
Thankfully, I have my own office.
Yeah, she's got her own office. Isn't that cool? They have to go into her. She doesn't have a cube. She has an office.
And one of the nice things is that what I've started doing is that before I walk in their office, I'll always go knock, knock, and then I wait for them to invite me in. And they've picked that up. So when they come to my office, they go knock, knock, and they wait for me to invite them in. So they just don't walk in and interrupt what I'm doing. So it's kind of that whole thing about you teach people how to treat you. So that I kind of started doing that with them because otherwise, there's people coming in all the time. You're trying to focus on spreadsheets or you're trying to do planning. And, once I'm interrupted, then it takes me a while to get back focused on whatever it is I'm working on. So once I taught them how to do that, then it makes it much more easier. It's just much more palatable to say, you can come on in and interrupt me now.
Right. I'm ready. I'm ready to take a brain break. Yeah.
Exactly. And another thing that I did when I lived in Denver and I was looking for a job, because there's nothing worse than searching for a job. I don't care what anybody says. I'd turn Bloomberg on the TV. Because to me, Bloomberg is the most boring TV show. So that
Don't
was
tell
more
Michael
boring
Bloomberg that.
than searching for a job. So I could focus on searching for a job. And I was like, I definitely don't want to watch Bloomberg.
Right.
So I'm going to focus on searching for a job. And so it was like all about contrast.
Right.
I don't know if I
Wow.
want to confess to you what I actually do.
Go ahead.
So, it's my sister-in-law's fault. She had surgery and came to stay with
Gotta
us.
blame
she's
it
not
on
here.
somebody.
Yeah.
She's not
Yeah.
here. So.
No, she had surgery and she was staying with us and we were taking care of her, and she was on Netflix and she started streaming Grey's Anatomy. And I had never watched it really much before. So she got me interested and I watched it. I think I have watched every season at least 7 times. Yes. And see, there's an episode on tonight and I'm here. They made me angry. They made me angry and I don't want to watch anymore. But I will cut it on and my phone or something, have it in the background, because now I've seen it so many times I could probably quote the script. I don't have to watch it to know what's going on. Now it's dead noise.
Wow.
My confession, true hearts to you.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about focus from Dr. Steve Taubman. Can you zero in on that, Michael? He's written a book called Buddha in the Trenches, and I met Steve last week. We had lunch together out in San Diego. He has a wonderful dog. He's a Labradoodle.
Oh,
Small
sweet.
Labradoodle. He's an Australian Labradoodle. He only weighs 31 pounds.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I didn't either.
didn't
I said, oh my God,
either.
he looks more like a poodle. Oh, adorable. He's adorable. If you check my Facebook page from when I put the pictures out from San Diego, you'll see him there.
I'm going to look.
And his name is
That
Woody.
Small. He must
Yeah.
have more oodle in him than lab.
He might, I guess. But
Maybe he's a runty lab.
he's very, very sleek. And my daughter has a small lab, so he's very sleek, and he's part of Steve's routine when he does public speaking. Woody's there. And he's also a service dog.
Oh.
So yeah, he's a service
wow.
dog. Yeah,
He's got a lot of
service dog.
jobs.
Yeah,
He sure does.
Woody does, and he's very, very. He's well behaved. He went to Secret Knock, and Woody was there. It was way
Wow.
cool. It was way,
Oh,
but
neat.
he
So the book, sorry.
That's okay. We always get on. That's why we can do this, because it's our show. It's my show. He wrote a book called Buddha in the Trenches, and I'm on his Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, and he has this. He has this Facebook group called Buddha in the Trenches, and one day he was doing a Facebook Live, and I've talked about this before on my show. He talks about focus being a muscle.
Yes.
And one of the people, when we were watching this video, asked him, what happens when you're working for somebody else and they pull you away from your desk? Like Judy. Judy has that happen all the time, How do you get back to focus? And he says, well, actually, that's a good thing. And I'm thinking, how can that be a good thing? They pulled you away. Your brain's now discombobulated because it's off from the task that you were doing.
Exactly.
And he says, because it teaches you to get back, to use that focus as a muscle to get back when you get back to your desk to what you were doing. So it's using that muscle. It's really stretching it and utilizing it to stay focused, because when you get, like with Lexi, if you're doing something, cooking dinner, and Lexi comes up and says, oh, I want some milk, or I want some of this. You're concentrating on cooking dinner, but yet you have to go to her. But you have to get back to the dinner, because if you don't, you're going to have a fire. You're going to burn it. And Matt's not going to be happy camper. Nobody is. And,
Right. Lexi won't eat, and that will be sad.
yeah, that would be sad. So he uses it. He says it's great to use focus as a muscle, but when you get pulled away from your task, go out of your way. Sometimes you have to really go out of your way to get back to the focus.
So the more you do that, like a muscle,
Right, the stronger
easier.
it gets.
Yeah.
Like when I was working on my book this week, I had people getting in touch with me, and it's like, I did what you did. I put my phone away.
You have
That's
to.
hard, and like it's part of my appendage, Everybody's appendage.
Yeah, and you have to give yourself permission
Exactly.
to not feel guilty for
doing this,
Yeah.
for putting it over there.
That is such a big thing, that permission not to feel guilty.
Right.
That
Because
is a
when
big
you're on a
deal.
mission and you've got a job to do, like I had a job to do this week, you have to eliminate everything else and get into that tunnel vision, no matter what you're doing, whether you're cooking, whether you're working on a project for your C-suite. And that's what we're going to be talking about at our retreat, the Creating the Amazing You.
Yeah.
Where we will be doing activities which will help you enhance your focus, enhance your mindset. We're going to go for a walk out in the woods. You know, I'll have my compass with
short
me.
hikes.
Short hikes. We're gonna do yoga. We have this huge deck on the back.
It'll be outside.
It'll be outside, so we hope it's not going to rain. It's going to be
will
beautiful.
not. You are going to will it not to rain.
And we're going to be doing yoga out on the deck, you know. And we're going to be doing vision boards, which I think vision boards are, you know, one of my coaches, he's a guy, he says, yeah, that's a girl thing. It's like, yeah, it is, but guys can do it too. This is all women's retreat, by the way, guys. Sorry, McKinley, if you want to come. Sorry, you can't come this time. We may be having a co-ed one someday. I don't know, you know. We'll see how it grows. This is our second retreat. So, well, you know, we'll just see how it goes. But we have room for 7 more people. So space is limited, right, Judy?
Yeah,
exactly.
We did a new we did a new logo. And I don't have it with me, and I don't have my...
It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, so go to creatingtheamazingyou.com and look at our logo. It is awesome.
It is. It turned out really pretty.
It turned out really good. We were looking through pictures, and these are pictures that I purchased through a website, so it's my picture, you know, and I can use it wherever I want. And we've redone a lot of our website. We've done a couple more videos, so look at our videos. We did them here. You know, we decided to do them in front of my artwork.
The Marilyn art.
The Marilyn art, yeah. I've got a Marilyn wall here.
Yes, we've got a gallery here.
Yeah.
One day we'll show you.
One day, you know. Well, you saw it earlier when you and I were doing the preview to our show tonight.
I think my favorite is the beach.
The what?
The beach.
Yeah. That was a paint night at noon. And we did it at that Halligan's, which is no longer there anymore. The restaurant up in Short Pump. It's not there anymore. Yeah. So anyhow,
I love the way the 2 chairs are leaning towards each other.
Yes.
Well, that's
what draws me to it, to be honest.
I'm so glad because I was not happy with those chairs. It's like, it is what it is.
That's what makes that whole painting.
I agree.
It is what it is, you know. I thought they were like loving one another.
That's what it looks like.
Is that what it looks like?
Yeah.
I did it by accident. Yeah, Zen's looking back.
Oh, he's going to bring
Oh,
it
he's
so
gonna
everybody
show
can
it. Show everybody.
So you can tell us if we're crazy for loving this as much as we do.
Yeah, there's my picture.
fun.
Zero in on that, Michael.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops.
Sorry if there's
Did we
ringing.
mess things up, Xenophon? Yeah, this is my beach picture, which I did paint night at noon with a very good friend of mine. She doesn't live here anymore. She lives in Hershey, Pennsylvania, but she's a wonderful artist. Her name is Sarah Drum. But that was artwork. Her painting, thank you, Zen. Her paintings that's what she did as a hobby. It's like, you really need to do this as a living. She says, Marilyn, there's too many starving artists out there. Yeah, I know. I get that. You know, she has a job. But she's a wonderful artist. And she really gave me the courage to do every single one of those.
They're wonderful.
You know, except the
turned out
tree one.
beautiful.
Except the tree one, which I did out with my son. And he said, oh, we're going to do paint night. It's like, really? I worried about it all day. And my daughter-in-law said, no, Marilyn, it's going to be easy. I just picked an easy one. I worried about it all day. Yeah, we went up to Hollywood
Hills. They serve
Hills.
wine, too.
Yeah, they serve... They serve wine and play
relax
really cool music.
Yeah.
So they eliminate your anxiety.
That's
focus.
right. That's what they do. They do. You know, it's like, I don't care. I'm just going to put paintbrush to paper and canvas, and we got to go do paint night. It's awesome.
I agree.
It's so
It's a lot of fun.
I find they really make fun gifts. You know, I made one that I thought was neat. You know,
Yeah.
and my best friend came to visit from Washington State, and she said, I love this. May I have
really?
it?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, so it's been a
how
piece to sort of
nice.
keep us together,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Not that it was any great, amazing work of art. I'm really glad that she has such taste. I was going to say
that's
poor
good.
taste, but that's
No.
unkind.
No, that's
bet it's
down to you, and
beautiful.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
Oh, it was fun.
I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
was
it's fun. You know, that's one thing. Paint night, you know, if you're painting, that can help get you focused. I mean, find a craft or find an activity that is going to keep you focused. My daughter, I love my daughter. She texted me yesterday. She says, Mom, you want to do the Komen race again? okay, Tiff, I've been waiting for you to sign up. Just send it to me and I'll sign up. So she texts me back and she says, you're already signed up. You can't back out now.
No backing out.
No backing out. You're ready. So then she texts me. She says, what are you doing Saturday? And I said, well, I don't know. Judy and I are having a party Saturday. And she says, well, can you go walking at 9 o'clock? Bring the stroller. We'll push the boys. Okay, I can do that. You know.
So the training is starting.
The training is well, actually, the training
stroller
started.
training.
The really training started yesterday when Aubrey had me walking out in that cold weather with the wind. Now we had walked out in 23-degree weather, and she looked back at me, and I was staying focused because it was miserable. We were freezing, you know. And Dov Barron, you know, the guy who I had him on my show a couple weeks ago, and Aubrey was my my co-host. We zoomed him in. And he said to me, he said, you know, he says, when you're cold, this is very, very true. When you are walking out in the cold, it boosts your metabolism. So you burn more calories. So you burn more calories.
I did not know
Yes,
that.
if you're walking out in the cold, I mean, you can bundle up as much as you want, but when you're walking in 23-degree weather, you can bundle up like an Eskimo, and you are still going to be cold. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree
You're going to be
with
cold.
that. That's the last time I want to any thought of walking is when it's cold.
Right.
I don't want to do it then.
Right.
You know, I want to be out there when it's
Nice.
a nice spring day or
Yeah.
nice fall day.
I know, me
I
too.
don't like the summer either.
That's why I started participating in winter equestrian events that shall go nameless. Because
Yeah, she rides horses.
because the wintertime is the time that you don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
You don't want to be engaging, I found something that motivated me to get up and continue that
And
relationship.
you have to stay
activity.
focused when you're riding on a horse. I don't care what anybody says. You can't go looking around or thinking about work or thinking about your friends or your family. Or...
You should not. You hit trees. I'm absolutely not talking from personal experience. But
there's a story here.
There is, but we'll leave. There are many. I'm getting hung up on something that you said earlier that I would love you to elaborate on because...
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh.
You, great leader of the conversation. You say, like, you didn't use participate, but you're like, do things that keep you focused or be part of activities that keep you focused. And can you break that down for me? Because when I hear you say that, my mind interprets that to be do something that eliminates your stress about something else.
I choose one thing.
I think Judy knows what I'm saying.
Yes, because your mind talk. If you're stressed out, your mind talk is always chattering in your mind. So you've got to find something that's going to relax you, that you're going to chill out so you can get in the moment. And I think when you're in the moment is then when you really tap into your greatest creativity
Or your family.
and also where you really can find what you really desire and what you have passion for. Because otherwise you're just doing. You know, I'm day to day, you know, I'm getting up, I'm getting dressed, I'm going to work, I'm doing all the tasks at work, I'm making all the decisions at work. You're coming home, you're just doing. And it can become mindless. And what happens in that mindlessness is it turns into a week and then a month and then years. And years can go by and you've never done the things that you really want to do or you really want to accomplish. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're
65 years old like I am.
There's high numbers on your age and you're like, where did it all go? And remember, I wanted to do this and I wanted to do that. And that's where we're hoping to engage women and say, don't let that happen to you. Really clear your mind, focus, plan, make it a goal. If you want it, like she said, I really wanted it. So she went after it. Find out what it is you really want and plan for it and make it happen.
Yep.
And that mindset also sustains you when you start running up against the mind talk, the mind chatter, because it's going to tell you, oh, you can't do that, or that's too hard, or you don't have this or this, so you'll never be able to do that. and you want to be engaged and passionate and have a clear mind so that you can get that sustainable success.
Yeah.
You can keep making that one step in front of the other, and obstacles are going to come up. It's just life. That's what life's journey is about. How you deal with those obstacles is what's going to determine your result. And that's what we want to help with women with, is how can you engage with those obstacles and still succeed and go after and have what you want. And that mindset is core. It's the foundation.
Yep. So if you zero in on your mindset and you zero in on the goal you want to have, like mine was my book, I wanted to get it done, that you'll get it. If it was easy.
She actually got a gift when she went on this windy cold walk, because they stopped at a Starbucks and talked to a gentleman who had been trying to write, or had been writing a book for 12 years. One book. She wrote her book in
a couple months.
12 years, a couple of months. Big difference. And that was the gift that she got on this walk. I mean, that's so mystic to me, that you go on a walk, she's finished her book, she goes on a walk that she really doesn't want to, but she's got Aubrey pushing her. And what does she get? She gets this magnificent gift of showing her that, hey, look, she cleared her mind, she stayed focused, she wrote her book, and then she met this guy who's been trying for 12 years to write a book. And that's the conversation. Those years go by quickly, because he could probably tell you, I can't believe it's been 12 years.
That's what he said, too.
Yeah. How did that happen? Where did they go? What have I been doing? Because they go so quickly. And if you're mindless, if you're just doing, then they'll go very, very quickly.
Right. Speaking of Aubrey's awesome. I love the girl. I really do. She's amazing.
She is a beautiful soul.
She is a beautiful soul. She's got this 12 weeks to sustainable lifestyle change. It's a holistic program that she has for people. If you do not live in our area, she does it virtually. You know, she'll get you on the right track. She'll get you on a right eating program. She will keep you motivated, and she will keep you accountable. I can guarantee you that.
But she has such a personality.
She does.
The way she goes about it and she engages you is that it's just incredible. It's not like, when I always think of trainers, I think of that one that made me lift weights till I threw up. You know?
And that cracked the whip. She doesn't crack the whip.
She's not like that at all.
She doesn't do that at all. She does it in a loving way.
Yes.
She motivates you and inspires you and keeps you accountable in a very loving way. Very loving way. And she's doing this 12-week lifestyle change. You can schedule a session. Yeah.
Can he zoom on that? Is that too small?
No, he can zoom in on that. Take a look at that. New clients are welcome. For people who live in this area or close to the Richmond area, she lives on her studio is at 8 North Robinson Street. It's down in the Fan. It's like between Monument and Main Street. It's not far. It's right off of Main Street. She does nutritional coaching. If you're having problems with eating, the Seafood and Eat a Plan, I have been on that one. I can't tell you how many times I've been on that one. That's not a great plan to be on. It's fun, but it's not good. You take a hit for that one. We'll be talking about that too, because I really had to create a really positive mindset to get off of that. I was like a gerbil on the wheel, to get off of that Seafood and Eat It plan. It was really, really hard for me. I'm an emotional eater, so it was very, very difficult. So I had to clear everything, clear all the yucky emotions, get rid of all that stuff, put it in a jet, send it off to Never Never Land. If it comes back, I keep putting it on a jet, sending it off. That's one way to clear your mind. Put it in a jet and send it off. And if it keeps coming back, put it in a jet and send it off. That's what you need to do. That's one way I clear my mind. I don't care how, you can take all the stuff and throw a boulder at it and let it go down the mountain or something. However you think is the best way to clear your mind.
Right. But that visualization is a way you're sending it away. You're not suppressing it. You send it away because the emotional eating is compensation for all those emotions you've suppressed.
That you've suppressed, that are down here that you don't even know might even exist.
Right.
You know.
And you know one of the things I've noticed is
What?
how great your posture's getting to be.
That is so true.
Really?
Have you noticed that too?
Yeah.
The way you
Shoulders
carry
are
yourself
back.
is changing.
Thank you.
Totally.
I've been working.
You're doing your work.
I have literally been working. I'm not kidding. Literally been working my tail off. You know, when I saw today that a hot yoga class, I knew there was a hot yoga class at noontime. There is one in every day at noontime, but it was a flow class, and a flow class is harder. I like the stability class. It's sort of a yaya class for me, you know. I like that one. You know, I can bounce around. I can stand. This one is harder. Flow is harder, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm just going to go and do it. It's harder, but...
So you sent the mind talk away?
I did. Now, I got a little unfocused towards the end. I was like, it is so hot in here, and the sweat's pouring down on me, and my skin is glistening, and it's like, this is awful. And I got to admit, I did get a little unfocused, and I felt... It was hard for me to breathe because it was just so humid, and so it was like 104 degrees in there and the 40% humidity.
And so that's
it's
the
hot.
Difference when you're focused and then
when you're not. And I lost my focus because I was trying to do a pose that was on my bucket list. I'll do it eventually, you know, maybe by this summer or something.
You will.
Yeah, I will. But
and then you can show them right here in this living room.
Right. I can show them,
You can.
the forearm handstand not everybody was doing it. Some people were doing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. But Aubrey yesterday in the studio, she did a handstand against the wall. It's like, you are awesome. That's on my bucket. I used to be able to do them when I was younger.
Oh, I don't have any doubt.
You know, I used to be able to do a back bend standing up and going back on my, you know.
I vaguely remember those days.
Yeah. Well, I could do a back bend standing up when I was younger and get my hands down on the ground. I could do that. Now, I can do a back bend, but I have to push myself up from the floor.
Wow.
I can do that. It's not something I like to do right now because I got a bad back, but I do it.
But you know, you can manifest that.
I can.
You can make that happen.
I can. I can. Well, yesterday, you know, she had me doing these planks where I was moving my legs back and forth out and, you know, back this way and out this way. And it's like, I didn't think I could do it. She says, just do it. Okay. Yeah.
Your head gets in the way of everything.
Yeah, your brain does. And you got to get your brain out of the way. You got to listen to your intuition. And I talk about that in my book. It's really important to listen to your intuition and don't ask questions. When I woke up one day and my intuition said, you got to start writing Be Amazing posts. You got to get with Judy and you got to start a retreat business. You know, all these intuitive things. And you don't ever question your intuition because your intuition knows. One day I was at a meeting with Katie, and it was I got Aubrey on the brain with Katie, and I was coming out. We were at Libyan Grove, you know, at that ice cream place. What's the name of that ice cream place? Boyers.
Yeah, Boyers.
Yeah, and we were at this ice cream place, and it was later in the season. It was like in May or something. And there was a car coming around the way, and they were looking at the people who were arguing over there, and the guy almost hit me.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to say something. And I really did. He had his window down and he was looking at the people on the sidewalk over there that were arguing and he wasn't paying any attention. He almost hit me with his car.
I remember this now.
I backed out and my intuition said, don't say anything, Marilyn. It's not worth it. It's like, but I want to. No. Just let him go and then you can cross the street. And that's what I did. Yeah. You know. So listen to your intuition. Your intuition is a whole lot smarter than you are. I don't care how smart you are. You got to develop your inner self. You got to develop your third eye here. It's really important. Really important to develop your third eye. We all have it. You just have to use it.
I just was thinking as you were speaking, you know, we're all going to make mistakes.
Oh,
we're not going to be able to follow it perfectly, but when you can identify your intuition, what is true gut direction, it really makes you quite powerful.
It does.
I mean, it adds confidence to your every step and every action that you take, and you have to learn to trust that and not doubt it.
Right.
And that power, if you will, is kind of intoxicating.
It is.
In a positive way. Don't let it get to your head.
Don't let it get to your head. You know, speaking of head, Lisa. Thanks, Zen. Lisa is having a she's having this program on how to raise your vibrational frequency.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's on March 24th. It's at Residence, which is on the south side at Sycamore Square. She's going to be talking about, I'm looking at this, how we've forgotten the basic laws of our universe and divorced ourselves from nature. Do you think about going out and taking your shoes off and getting grounded and wiggling your feet, your toes in the grass, or going to just pull some stuff out of your garden, which my garden is in dire need of attention? Have you ever thought of doing that, or going to the beach? Judy and I like to go to the beach. I can't wait to get back there, Judy. And just wiggle yourself in the sand, wiggle your feet in the sand. Just go, I put my toes in the water, but I don't go any further than that because I don't know all those creepy crawlies out there. But last year when Judy and I went down to the beach and it was hot. It was really hot. And we saw these two women getting off the beach. And they were as red as tomatoes. And
so
Judy
funny.
pulled her neck up, her blouse up like this. She says, Marilyn, are we just going to walk on there a little bit? Because I don't want to. And we're both very fair, and she's fairer than I am.
Yes.
And they were as red as tomatoes. I said, well, Judy, I said, let me tell you something. If they are sharing a room, there's going to be a war to get in that bathtub. They were so red. They really were. And when you go out and get your vitamin D, don't stay out there all day.
Sunscreen.
Use your sunscreen, but don't stay out there. Even when you use sunscreen, don't stay out there all day. Keep that mindset in there that you only have so much time out there because you can fry and you can hurt your skin and you can have.
You need to protect yourself.
You need to protect, and listening to your intuition and keeping focused on what you're doing. If you're at the beach, keep focused on where you are, where your parameters are. I remember when I was 6 years old, and we grew up at the Jersey Shore. I grew up in New Jersey. We grew up at the Jersey Shore, and I remember one day some of my friends and my relatives, we went in the water, and I looked up a little bit later, and my mom's umbrella wasn't there. We had floated 2 miles up the beach.
No
we had to walk all the way. I was 6 years old. My mom wasn't even paying attention to me. Yeah.
I won't judge.
But no matter where you could be floating out
the panic.
This was like 1959.
Yeah. Nothing happened to kids.
I mean, you don't have to watch them all the time, but
wow. But something, I'm here. So, but I had to walk back until I found my mom's umbrella. So, be
I'm going to sit here and drink my tea.
Be careful of your surroundings. Seriously, you have to be careful of your surroundings. I mean, that's a great example of I was not careful of my surroundings. But be mindful of where you are. Especially with today, what's going on in today. I mean, when I was in kindergarten, I rode my bike to school.
I know.
We could do that. I was in kindergarten. I was 5 years old. Could ride my bike. I would never have my kids ride a bike to school now.
And it's
sad.
Not to wax nostalgic, but yes, I mean, it is sad. And I don't know how we embrace that or, adjust to the change.
I don't know.
Because we're not going back.
No, we're not. But getting back to Lisa, she wants to talk about this and how to raise your vibrational frequency. We all have energy. Where's your energy going? What are you doing with your energy? Are you positive? Or are you spending time in the negative and having your own pity party? I don't have pity parties anymore. Last time I had a pity party, it lasted maybe a minute and a half when I got my Medicare card. Because I got this big envelope. It's like, oh, I really am going to be 65. But I looked at it this way. I turned it around. 65 is the new 35. Mm-hmm. So, in essence, I'm younger than some of my kids, which is cool. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at all you're doing. I mean, you're a young woman.
You are.
Yeah, I really am.
Yes.
I mean, I can bust a move, and I can bust a move with the best of them. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to be, just because I turned 65, I'm not going to be old.
Mm-hmm. I was at a luncheon yesterday, and I met a gentleman who, frankly, I guess is about your age, and he was telling me, he said, it's funny, and we all can relate to this. He says, you never really age in your heart and your soul.
No.
Right. He's like, you gain some wisdom, you gain some maturity. He's like, but I says, I'm still the teenager I was. He says, my body ages, but my, you know, my heart, my soul, my intuition, it does not.
But your body does
It's
not
very
have to
true.
age. Your body does not have to age.
Well, eventually we
You-
die. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, when our number's
brought
up,
it
I
down.
believe, I agree with my number's up, but my number's not up yet. But I am reversing my aging with this wonderful stuff. It's HGH. It's a human growth hormone homeopathic gel.
So what does this
It's
do?
awesome. It helps with energy. It helps with anti-aging. It helps with a lot of different things. I can send you a website, and it helps with my husband's hand. We're doing this thing. He's got arthritis in his hands. So we're using his right hand as a control hand, and we're using his left hand as putting this gel on it. It's way cool. You just squirt a little bit and rub it in, and it's a homeopathic remedy. You know,
It's all 100% natural.
it's 100% natural. There's no side effects. The only side effect is you'll get more energy.
Oh, it sounds
know.
wonderful. What a great side effect.
Yeah, that's the side effect. And I put it on every. You want to try some?
I'll look at it.
Go look at
I'm
it.
Captain Skeptic here.
No, don't be. This stuff, it's a homeopathic
trust you.
remedy.
I
It
trust
is a
you.
homeopathic. It is awesome. If y'all want to know about this HGH gel, let me know. Get in touch with me. Call me 804-350-0034. Send me a private message. Send me a text. Send me an email at toppriorityllc@gmail.com. Just get in touch with me. This stuff is awesome. It has helped me get through that hour of flow today. It really did.
So you saw a real difference.
I saw a difference. It also helped me stay focused.
May increase muscle and reduce fat. Everyone will buy this.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
what I'm working on.
yes.
Yeah, and the guy who
No,
told
don't
me,
smear it all over.
the guy who told me about it, he lost 8 pounds in less than 2 weeks. And I saw him last week at Secret Knock, and he says, "Look, Marilyn, look at my belt."
With
I
the
said,
gel.
With
No-
the gel,
no change.
yeah. Just putting it on his arms, and I'll tell you what happened last night. But anyhow, he told me, he showed me his belt, and he pulled his belt. And I said, "Look, Greg, it looks like you need another hole in your belt." He goes, "No, I just need to get a new belt." You know, I'm trying to save him some money, but he's got a lot of money and he's very successful. And he says, "Nah, I'm just going to get a new belt." I said, "Smooth move." You know, I said, "That's a good move." But last night I had the worst ankle cramp, and it raised my big toe. Yeah, and I could,
my
and you know,
goodness.
to get rid of a cramp, you normally walk around, right?
Right.
I was limping. I was dragging my leg, and it was the ankle that I sprained when I was with Judy, and she said I felt like a football player. So it was no fun. And I said, and I couldn't, no matter what I did, I couldn't get the cramp out, and it was all up my leg right here, and my big toe was up like this, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm dragging like the peg lady, you know.
Yeah.
So I decided to put some of this HGH gel on my ankle, and within 5 seconds, I swear to God, I counted 5 seconds, it was gone. The cramping was gone.
Can you feel the tingling?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing
very
major.
Cool.
No.
It's very
You're supposed to
cool.
put 2 pumps on. I can't put 2 pumps on. It's too much
just
for me.
Feels
you know,
wonderful.
but-
Like it's like
It can firm you up. He lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks, but he's very hyper. You know, he's very type A personality. It's given me more energy. Like I could get up in the morning. I'm sleeping better. A lot of people are saying they're sleeping better. In fact, I told this one guy about my ankle. So, and he lives in LA. He's a friend of mine. And he said he's been having back problems, and he was going to have to go to the doctor next week to get an epidural. He's supposed to get an MRI on Saturday. And he said he decided to put it on his back. And he said, "My back feels so much better. I'm glad you told me about your foot, your ankle."
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, if you keep doing that, maybe you don't have to have the epidural next week." My dad used to get epidurals. They're painful. My husband had an epidural one time.
And they have lasting side effects, or
Yeah.
potentially can.
They would, and he was miserable, and he did PT, and before he had his back surgery, he was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks, and I was taking care of him and taking care of Jacob. Now, when one of them needs, thank you, Zen, when one of them needs attention, I had to give them attention. But then when Jacob needed attention, I needed to turn my brain. Oh, I'm working with a 2-year-old now.
Yeah.
You know, it was very challenging. I wish they had this then, but they have it now. And this is awesome stuff. So if you want to know about it, it's a homeopathic remedy. It is awesome. It will help you everything from A to Z. It's taken me from 0 to hero. It's great. Maybe it's helping with my posture too. I don't know.
Who knows?
But
Well, you're looking fabulous.
Yes,
Thank you.
you are.
But it's really helped me with some of the ailments I have, like that cramping. It's like I even took electrolytes because I thought, well, maybe I'm low in potassium or magnesium. Sometimes when you get cramps, you're low in potassium or magnesium.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. And I was drinking and it wasn't changing it. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try this stuff. Seconds. Absolute seconds, and it went away, and I could wiggle my foot like that, and my toe went down right away. And I don't know why my ankle was up in my...
Because like I'm saying, that tingling feeling, you can feel it like just start going in and doing its work.
It's doing its work.
Yeah.
Because when you put something on your body, on your skin, it goes into your system within 21 seconds.
I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you put an essential oil like Thieves on your feet, it goes into up through your blood-brain barrier, up through your head within 21 seconds.
That's why it's so important to know what's in your lotions and in your sunscreen.
Exactly, because that's another thing. That's very important. We've learned that from Shackley, haven't we? How important it is to look at the ingredients that are in your facial creams, your makeup, everything you put on your skin. Because what you put on your skin goes directly into your system. And we don't think about that.
No. Well, and I'm getting so preachy. I mean, you have to be careful with sunscreen now because, I mean, it's killing coral reefs.
Right.
And if it's killing entire ecosystems, think of what it's doing in your body.
Your skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And watch insect sprays. Get a natural insect spray. You don't want DEET in your insect spray.
No, you don't.
That's a no.
And, I really have to fight that because... I am a mosquito magnet. I must be the most delicious thing in the forest.
Well, there's natural...
Yeah.
I call it sweet blood.
There's natural things that you can use to prevent that. And if you don't know what they are, we can talk about that. So.
See, you need to be friends with Marilyn. You learn all kinds of things.
Well, I've been doing this I've been a naturopath for 40 years. More than half my life. It's all I know. It's all my kids know, mostly. I mean, my son knows when you get the flu, you take oscillococcinum. You take olive leaf. You do these things. And when you hurt yourself, you take arnica, which is a homeopathic remedy, and it gets rid of it within 5 minutes. So, natural things, you don't have to deal with side effects.
Exactly.
That's why I love natural things. That's why I love homeopathy. I met some person last week who was going to be on my show, but I'm going to let it be a surprise for a while. We were talking about Samuel Hahnemann, who was the founder of homeopathy, who developed homeopathy, and he started with quinine because when you have malaria, you take quinine. That gets rid of malaria. So his very first homeopathic remedy was quinine, and if he found that if he gave them too much, they would get symptoms of malaria. So because it's the law of similars. So you back it off and the malaria goes away. Yeah, wow. That's the law of similars. That's how it works. So I got stung by a bee. This is how I started with homeopathy. I got stung by a bee, and I'm very allergic to bees. This was in my old world, and I had the 80s hair. The foo-foo hair. I was a platinum blonde. My hair was out like this. Hairspray, the whole bit. I had very long hair. I was about down to here. I mean, you were a kid.
This is just a whole side of you that I'm just cherishing deeply.
So anyhow, I felt something in my hair, and I was driving down the road on a country road. I was 45 minutes away from the hospital. I pulled this thing out, and it turned out to be a bee. Bang, it stung me. Flicked it out, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do now? I am 45 minutes from the hospital. I could die. I really could. So I remember...
And you don't have a cell phone to look up what you are doing.
No, this was pre-cell phone. This was pre-internet. This was pre-everything, And I was not in a place where I could find a payphone, which they're obsolete now. So I started taking... I remember a friend of mine gave me Apis, and it's made from bee venom. So I started taking this very potent dose of Apis. Of course, I pulled along the side of the road. And I started taking this very potent dose of Apis because my arm was getting red, my chest was swelling up, my esophagus and my trachea were swelling. You know, it was awful. So I started taking this, and I sat there, and for 20 minutes, I started feeling better. So 30 minutes after, I was now another 10 minutes, and I really started feeling much better. So I took off and did my thing, went to my meetings, whatever I was doing.
So just went on with...
I just went on with my day. I just went on with my day, you know. Out, right? I did.
I don't know whether that's wisdom or, youthful
Total
ignorance
faith.
or...
Total faith.
But I went on with my day, and 3 hours later, I hadn't even felt like I'd been stung by a bee. And I said, I'm doing this. It saved my life. It absolutely, if it hadn't been for Jan Kirby, and I don't know where she lives now, but if it hadn't been for her, I probably wouldn't be here. Seriously.
Thanks, Jan Kirby.
And it's like, she saved my life.
Yeah.
You know, and just a simple homeopathic remedy. And it can save your life. It's amazing. So that's why I'm a homeopath.
Without side effects.
Without side effects. Yeah. Totally without side effects. It's awesome. If you want to know more about homeopathic remedies, if you want to know more about this, the HGH, it is human growth hormone, but it is all homeopathic. There's no steroids in it, no anything like that. It is 100% natural. Get in touch with me, 804-350-0034. How can they get in touch with us, Judy? What's the website?
creatingtheamazingyou.com. And they can email us at creatingtheamazingyou@gmail.com. Or they can call us. My phone number, 770-853-6468. Or your phone number?
804-350-0034. And what are you doing right now, girlfriend?
Oh, goodness. Well, it's not as exciting to most people. So,
It's exciting to us.
Well, as you all know, I've been working in my wellness company, Authentic Wellness, working with, I like to focus on young moms or new moms who are trying to regain their energy and improve their nutrition. The practices I took on have changed my life. And I'm actually back to a full-time role as a mortgage advisor.
All right.
Doesn't sound that exciting, but it's wonderful. I mean,
she's really getting out there again.
She's helping people.
When she had Lexi a couple years ago, she was like, I have no energy. I have no energy.
I was sick all
can't
the
do
time.
life. She was sick. She would call me up. I got a sinus infection. I got this. I got that. She started this Shackley business. She started taking these what do they call it? Vita Strip.
Oh, well, the Vitalizer Strip absolutely changed my life.
Yeah, it did.
And started working on improving my nutrition.
She's not sick anymore.
Yes.
She has more energy.
I haven't been sick since
you started those Vitalizers.
Not at all. And, everybody is different. Literally everybody.
Right.
So you have to find the combinations of things that work the best for you.
And when people would come see me, if two different people came and they had digestive disorders, they won't get the same thing. They get different things. And when I look at somebody, I look at the whole person.
Absolutely.
Not exact. I didn't take compartmentalizing 101 like other people do. But we won't mention that. And that's what Katie is doing with her Authentic Wellness. Yes. So how can they get in touch with you, Katie?
Well, let's see. I guess the best way to get in touch with me is to give me a call. I have a 540-522-9356. Again, that's 540-522-9356. And we'll just chat. I'm a no-pressure person. Let's find out what's going on in your life and figure out a way to help.
She can help you. She is the epitome of what's going on. So I want to thank you for joining us today with Healthy Living with Marilyn. Thank you for allowing us to come into your living room. We hope that you got a lot of information. Don't hesitate to get in contact with either Katie, me, or Judy. We are here to help you out. And remember, be amazing. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
Wonderful to spend time with you ladies.